I think one thing that people, to your point, for Henry's question and even what you were saying, Austin, is that I think people don't even appreciate how school board is an elected position and how,
Mhm.
can you talk about at least actually, because I think people, as you know, everyone I think is understanding of the politics of education from the standpoint, right? Like of, oh, what curriculum are we banning or what books are we banning? But can you actually at least inform our audience as someone who's on the Trenton school board, like what does that actual position mean and why do we need more people in their community to actually take an interest in the politics of education locally? Can you at least explain what
Mhm.
your role looks like in that position?
Yeah, so school board literally is tasked with making sure the future of your city, the future of your community has the tools they need to succeed and thrive. Like your task with protecting the future, right? And I'm so grateful for the opportunity because we get to decide what the curriculum looks like, right? What books are coming into our schools? What areas are we specifically focusing our kids in so they're ready for the future that they deserve, right? I know for myself in my specific position, right? I'm the head of the HR committee, which means that every single person that works for the district, I have to specifically approve.
Mm,
Every single teacher, administrator, security guard, janitor, bus driver, like name the position,
real
right?
power.
Comes before my desk, right? And it's not just deciding, all right, I don't bang with Sarah. She ain't getting this job. Right? It really is saying, and taking it even further, hey, we have a mostly Latino population here in Trenton. Why aren't we paying, bilingual teachers more?
Hmm.
And giving our English speaking teachers, right, the stipends they need to get certified and to learn a second language or even third language, because we're also getting an increase in Haitians that are coming specifically into Trenton, right? So I made that decision. I was just like, as many people that want to learn an additional language, we're going to give them additional funds. We're going to give people as many professional development classes across the board so they're meeting the highest standards to educate our kids, right? All of this is like the behind the scenes, unsexy, like I said, the boring government stuff, but this is how it works, right? And all of this matters.
Yeah, and I think, can you share a little bit about what parents tell you when you're engaging with them? Obviously, I think as you can see that, education is such an important thing. And to your point, it's building the skills not only to, better that family's life, but to have a sustainable city. Because I'm sure, you're greeting kids and you're talking to, students and you're greeting parents. What are the parents telling you that things, hey, Austin, can we get this? Can you just share in some of those conversations? Because I'm sure it's a lot of small things that these parents are really asking for, I would imagine. Can you share some of how those conversations go?
Oh yeah, and like you said, no, it's extremely small, right? So I was just talking to a group of kids probably a few days ago, and their main concern, frankly, was just things to do and how it translates into other areas, like safety, for example, right? Every time one of these kids or parents comes up to me and just says, "Hey, post 3 o'clock, right? We don't know what's going on in the city. We don't know, when it goes dark, how I can keep my child safe while I'm at work, right? What can we do to start solving these problems?"
Right.
I'll be honest with you. Despite the big old head that I have, right? I don't have to be the smartest person in the room, right? What I pride myself on doing are stealing great ideas, right? And as we say over here, Trentonizing it, right?
Yeah.
So one of the things that we actually used to do about 20, 30 years ago, uh, have no idea why they called it this name. Kind of strange. But weed and seed, right? Just bear with me, right?
I'm I'm
So
I'm I'm waiting to see it all connect. I'm rocking with you.
I'm
I'm here.
I'm still trying to figure out how it makes any sense. But the idea was something simple, right? Is that we literally just left our schools open after the school day ended, right?
Mm.
We had teachers there, we had administrators there, we kept the gym open, right? We kept the fields open so kids could play football, soccer, X, Y, and Z. And we specifically said, hey, what is your homework that you have to do? Show it to me. And once you're done with your homework, then you have supervised free care. And these kids built lifelong relationships based off of that alone. A safe, trusted space where these kids are always at every single day. Why not open that up for them? And they're learning what they have to do. They're doing their homework, right? And it's just like, why did we stop doing that 20, 30 years ago? And that's something that we're working and pushing for right now. And especially, Austin Edwards mayor administration, that's something that we're going to bring back.